Good morning, all. Welcome to today's weekly update. Today is the 30th of July 2023. This is 4:27 a.m. West African time. The aim and purpose of this update is to align us to see what exactly the market and the price is doing, what are the options that we have. We are going to be critical of both ways, both sides of the coin, and for us to align ourselves, appropriately. When you are in this business, you may have sentiment towards a direction, but it's not always the best to have sentiment towards a particular direction, that this is where it is going and it will continue to go that way. And if it's not going your way, you may want to feel sad that, oh, what are they doing? I've been so optimistic that it's going to climb and move this way, and it's like it's not going that way. You must know that the devil runs to and fro looking for who to devour, but we have to be guided and equipped to know that this is what the devil is doing. Again, the devil can roar like a lion, but he's not a lion. That's what the scripture says, bringing scriptures, into forex. But really, when the movement and the price moves in such a way that you look at it's roaring and you get scared and all of that. Now, all that we can do is to watch and behold, what exactly the price is printing for us to make a decision. And we are going to work with, okay, high probabilities, this is what we should do. We should mark levels where there could be transition, and we tell ourselves, if there's going to be transition at this level, this is the level I expect a transition. And when it hits that level, then I know that things have changed. If it doesn't, things has not. Now, what I want us to understand this morning is the possibility of this price still going up to break the top, and it may continue as expected. We are picking warning signs that we might be seeing the beginning of a bigger correction. And that's the truth. This might just be the beginning of a bigger correction. The movement here to you might be big on the lower time frame, but on the higher time frame is small. This could be the beginning of a bigger correction. And this movement also could fail in such a way that the price will continue to move up. We are going to look at all those possibilities, the signs in favor, the signs that are not in favor of either ways, and what we are going to do to apply ourselves. I believe that will be a blessing, and what to do. So the first thing I'm going to pull out here is the RSI. If this is 3, we can say the 3 or the height of 3 is here. Because if you take this one as 3.5, and we say this is A, 4, a 4A, 4B, and a 4C, and that this is 5. If you call it a 5 on this time frame, this may have looked completed as a 5-way structure on this time frame, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this first move. And this may have looked like a triangle A, B, C, D, E, which also could mean that this is a 2. If this is going to be a 3 and a 4 and a 5, it does not look complete. It does not look complete. And if you're going to see it as a triad, A, B, C, to say this is a C, A, B, C, something is just not, is off. So we are looking at all that possibility. This went up so sharply, quite all right. But I can't see a 1, a 2, or a 3, or a 5. But if you go to the lower time frame, it will look as if we've done a 1, a 2, or a 3, or a 5. That's a very much lower time frame, which I don't expect if this is the 5th wave. If this is A, B, C of a 4, and we're going to do a 5th wave. So we're supposed to write this as 1 and a 2, and this should have just gone up as a 3 here, a correction, and the last one would have made it so much look like what we expect, that 5 had completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that time frame, and you might be saying this movement is a bigger correction. Now we are trying to apply ourselves to what we expect. I'm not trying to pitch to us that, okay, this thing is going to go up. We're going to look at the possibility of it going up and breaking the top, and because if it does that, it should not surprise you. It should not surprise you, because these at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, this is okay from here, 1 A, B, C of 2, 3, 4, and a 5 is complete here. I hope you can see that from this moment, from this bottom here, 1 A, B, C of a 2, 3, a 4, a 5 is complete, and this triangle. Now, if this had been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I would have said that we would have completed that move, but something is off. So this movement can still be a 1 in its entirety, and what is coming down must still be a 2. That's what I'm saying. So far, it does not break below 85 here. These potentially can still go up and break the top. I'm just making this one a 2, and the price will skyrocket and move. There's still that tendency. Now, if there is a clear momentum loss and that the price is going to correct big, one thing again we should see is the RSI. What RSI is telling us in relation to our 3 and our 5, if this is 5. So the RSI clearly would tell me that this will gain the height, the most height on the RSI, and this will gain the most low on the RSI. So that would be a clear divergence that the price, the line drawn on the RSI, will slope down. In case it's like an inverse on the DXY, the 3 will be with the most low and the 5 will be with the most high, so it will slope up. So if this is 3 and this is 5 and it has completed and we are seeing a divergence, then we can say that we are coming down. So let's look at RSI and what RSI is telling us, because this looks incomplete for the price to begin to come down. So RSI. Now this is 3, which is still looks perfect for 3. And this ABC might be a correction. So far, it does not erode this. But looking at this move, it has eroded this. This move, this is not a divergence. So I can't see a divergence here. So that's another thing. I can't say that even if I go to the weekly, would we see something like a divergence on the weekly? Let's look at it on the weekly. So this is where 3 is on the weekly. This is the recent movement here. So it's still gained more height here. So what I'm trying to say here now, that we are seeing that RSI, be it on the weekly, on the daily time frame, is not supporting that this is the end of the move, because I can't see a divergence. Or maybe they are falling here and, you know, they are trying to play on horse because probably Euro USD is stupid. And we're not seeing a divergence, and this is a clear height over 3. Let's look at DXY. Because we have to look at all of these things. What is DXY telling us? This is our 3 here. And this is what we say 5. It's not a divergence, because this would have just been, the bottom here will be up probably higher than 3 here. So this is, looks like the trend is still not done. That is what I can see. Okay, maybe Euro USD and DXY, maybe they are the same in their movement. Let's look at the USD dollar index. So let's look at that. USD dollar index. Looking at USD dollar index, this is 3, and this is what we say 5. It's still low. All these things are pointing to the fact that even though it looks as if we are losing momentum, but the RSI is not in support, I can't see a divergence. And the Yoruba will say, "Etibi ishanoki esiogun." If you understand what that means, Etibi ishanoki esiogun, still telling me from the RSI, there is still tendency for this thing to continue to move the way we expect it to move. Now, so far, we'll still take this as the 3 and ABC of 2. Okay, we are thinking in our head. If I look at US dollar, does this even get to 50 on the US dollar? So let's see that movement here. Does it trace 50? Because we are looking at the retracement and what we expect. I've not done this before, so we're just checking it. It almost got to 50. This is because this is 50 here. This is 50 here, almost getting to 50. So everything still looks suspicious. Both sides of the coin, you know, appears possible. Both sides, but the RSI, it's just the only thing here that is telling me that the movement to the downside, you know, is not done. That is not done. So we can still technically think both ways, that this is like a 2, the wave 2, and we can still take it technically, it could be a wave 4, just like I said that this is 5. But now we're going to watch, this week is going to be critical to watch what is going to happen here. So once we have a break to the upside from here, then that will confirm that it's a bigger correction and a deeper correction that we are doing. So we must hold that. We must hold that. Now that is going to be a deeper correction that we're going to do. And that is the only thing it can be to now give us a proper 2. But from the RSI seems not to agree. It's still looking at this movement as nothing but a correction to this run. So which means the most this can be is a 2 to this run. This one will be a 1 and this one will be a 2. This one has been a 1 to this, and this one will be a 2 to this move, a correction. And this is a sharp correction, and this is looking like it's going to be a 2. So this area are the levels of decision of if it's going to be a deeper correction or if it's going to continue. So it's 50-50 at this level. But the RSI clearly is telling me we are going down. That is what the RSI is doing. But of course, we are seeing lots of momentum. So pretty much both are saying the same thing, or the triad are saying the same thing, which I can see the RSI and the movement on the DXY here. This so far looks so much corrective on the DXY, that this movement looks so much corrective. Of course, we know it's a correction, but is it a shallow correction that is going to be, or it's going to be a much deeper correction, so until it breaks this level? So even on the DXY, so far, where are they traced? Where are they traced? Where are they traced? What retracement are we seeing now in the DXY? So this is just about 61.8 with all those movements, and with the euro all of a sudden appearance, so euro appearing so weak all of a sudden to $1. So it had only traced 61.8. And let me look at where it has traced on US dollar index. Where it has traced on US dollar index, that's a bit up here. That's a bit up here. So let's see where it has traced on US dollar index. On US dollar index, it has traced just a bit over 61.8. It didn't even get to 76 or 78. Of course, this last level is the area, or this red area here is the 5 that once we break, we should know that we're going to break the bottom. So now, everything is still aligning. Everything is still aligning. So let's now switch to our instrument, which is euro dollar. So we need to align ourselves. This is euro dollar now. So still on the euro dollar, we know there is no divergence. This is not peaking. This is still going higher. And that tells us clearly that do not be surprised if this thing is going to go up to break the top. If it does not break the top, and what it does first is to break this bottom, then we will know that this is the beginning of a much bigger correction. So it's going to break the bottom. If it does that, then it's going to pull up again to like almost 50% of the move of after breaking the bottom to give us a B and to continue to come down. So anything is possible. So we are at that zone that we have to see what exactly they are trying to do. But the RSI tells me we are not done in our movement to the upside. So if what that means is that it is just a 3 here that we have clicked, because it could be we are trying to see a divergence within the third wave itself. If this is going to be like a 3, a 4, and a 5, so we are not seeing that divergence. So it's not clicking for me. It's not clicking for me. So except it's treating this one as a old one, which is a old wave, and this one is going to be a second wave. We are going to see that transition here. Even at that, if it's going to be 3 and 5 of a old wave, within that 3 and 5 of a whole wave, I'm still supposed to have seen a divergence of 5 and that 3, which is not present. And that is a clear sign that the price could shock anybody, and where you are thinking that this is a seller's pressure and the price may take it up. So we're going to, see how we are going to align apply ourselves. So we should be looking for, anybody should be looking for a sell, a buy at this level before we break 85. And we should now look at where we are going to be looking for a sell also. So that is what we can do. But at this level, you don't want to buy in the middle or sell in the middle because of what the price could do. If you are picking your orders at the periphery, it's better, or both sides, or sell or a buy at the periphery is much better until we shift, beyond the transition zone that confirms that this is what we are doing. So the transition zone, it's almost here, for to break into sell proper, but it could still go up. So if I bring this up, is it this one? No, it's not this one. I think it's this one that I used to explain, if I've not even knocked it off. Let's see. Now, this is what we had used to explain to us that we're supposed to gain momentum beyond the middle here to tell us that properly we have engaged into a wave 2, wave 3. So the price almost got to the middle and we are seeing this reaction. So far, this is not taking. So far, this is not broken to the downside. We might still be seeing that movement. And if you're going to have any movement, it might just be price will be dragging and dragging and dragging at first. And once it begins to accelerate, it's going to be a big acceleration to the upside. So if that happens, it's going to knock off the possibility of an A, B, and a C to the downside. So that is what I'm saying. Now, let's now begin to dig in to what is possible. So what I'm saying is that the possibility of price going up and breaking the top is still exists much more. I would say now everything is looking like 55% to the upside and 45% for a bigger correction. That is what my submission here now. 55% to break the top, 45% for a bigger correction. So, and we're going to watch closely now. What can we see here? This, for me, it's a move. And we saw a clear break of structure here. And it gave us this. The structure was broken here. This structure was broken here. And we can see a clear, so this is a move. So this could actually be an A, and this could be a B. Or it could be 1, and it could be a 2. So we should know that. Now, for this movement down to this downside, this is also a complete move. And here we are seeing another structure break. Now, so we can see on the 4-hour time frame, a complete movement and another complete movement, which is the second, and this is the third complete movement. Now, this third complete movement, if you're going to align ourselves, would this be an A, B, and a C here, and it has finished that correction there, and this is going to be going up to break the top? That's the first. Now, if that happens, we're going to see to what extent this is going to drag up, which is possible. Now, could it be that this movement to the upside is just a correction to this movement? We're going to see that as well. At what point would this movement stop being a correction to this movement? And at what point, if it breaks the point of correction here, if it breaks it, at what point would this also stop being a correction to the entire move and is a new move? That is what we're going to see. Now, at what point, if we go down, would it stop being a correction to this movement and that we're coming down? We're going to see all of that. That is what we need to see. It might be a bit long, but I think it will worth your money and your time if you listen carefully. I'm going to be doing all this on 4-hour time frame first. So let me bring out my drawing. Bringing out this drawing, let me first deal with at what point would the movement that is coming down stop being a correction to this, and that is a new move of a bigger deep correction. At what point? Now, this is the point it's going to do that. I'm going to consider the entire run as a 1, and we are going to take our retracement tools right from here. We're going to take it to this point. So at what point will it stop being? So at the break of this fenestrated, that's where 85 is. This is where 85 is. At the break of this here, once we break here to the downside, we don't even need to break this one. Once we break this place to the downside, it tells us we are in a seller zone, and we're going to do a deeper correction. So that's just it. So this is the point, and that for me is 1.08963. So once we break 1.08963 to the downside, we are in a seller's zone. And 1.0759 confirms that the move is on for a bigger deep correction or a sell. So considering what the price had done so far, for that possibility of we selling to do a bigger correction, price just need to take out how many pips? Price needs to take out just 50 pips. So once price takes out 50 pips, we are doing a bigger correction. Now, could this actually now be an A, B, and a C, and not 1, 2? Because not until we break this, we can't realign ourselves and begin to say this is 1 and a 2 and a 3, 1 and a 3, 2 and a 3, 3 for us to have a deep zigzag A of the correction. So we can't jump the gun. So, but we are telling ourselves that this is the level 50 pips more taken out. That's the level now we cannot begin to realign ourselves that that is what the price is trying to do. So far, the safest thing to still do, because that is like you are too much in anticipation of a downward movement. So from the RSI, what they are giving us, I would still want to say that this is A, B, and this is a C. C does not need to be completed. Doesn't need to be equal leg. It doesn't need to be equal leg. So far, this may go up, come down to touch this area and bounce up. And it may continue from here because this structure is completed here for a 5 wave, and that may just end it. Now, at one point, from what I said, you can see that this also had crossed this to tell me that we are going up, or we are correcting at least. At what point will this movement up to the upside will stop being a correction to this immediate movement? Because we have to mark those levels. At this level, once the price breaks 1.11193, once the price break 1.11113, that's 1.111193. Once the price breaks that, then it tells me that that again will not be a correction. That this move will not be a correction to this move, that it cannot be a correction to this entire run. So at this level, once price breaks 1.11193, then we know that it is not a 3-1, a 3-2 anymore. That this may have just been a triad or a 1-2-3 or a C, and this is now correcting this. That is the first possibility. Now, at one point we'll say that if the price breaks this and still continue to go up, it will not be a correction to this entire run again, and it will be like the price is now on course to break the top and continue its movement. And it's going to be like this. We're not going to take it from the top here. You know, the first one is from this top to the to bottom to look at the retracement. So it will not be from the top here to where the price had bounced back. And in that case, once the price breaks 1.12268, this level, once the price breaks that level, let me change it to purple. Yeah, once it breaks that level, then it starts being a correction. So this level is space of how many pips apart? These are critical zone. It's a space of 110 pips apart. These are critical zones that price may check to say it's not a correction to these and it's not a correction to this entire run anymore. And from here, once the price touches and breaks this, then we are going up. So if the price should break this one, any retracement you get to the downside is to buy. If the price breaks this one, any retracement to the downside that you get is a buy. If the price breaks this one to the upside, so we'll still say that it's going to correct the whole of this and you're going to watch. If the price breaks this level to the downside, any retracement to the upside is a sell. So we have to get that clearly. We have to get that clearly. If it breaks this to the downside, any retracement to the upside is a sell. If it breaks this one upside, any retracement downside is a buy. So, but at this level, it tells you if you break this level to the upside, it tells you the price will still correct much deeper because it's now correcting this. That is the only thing you can get. So what we can do here now, if we still maintain, because I've closed some buy orders, I'm still maintaining, probably about like 30% of my buy, so which is much lower that I joined much lower down here. So what is going to happen is that if we still have that, I won't say go and put up a buy at this level. It won't be a smart thing to do, except you want to scalp a buy. So the first thing we can do is to draw our trend to guide the price. That's what we can do. Can draw a trend. We can draw a trend to guide this price to this and to this area. And not after this one is taken, you can consider a long buy. Now, technically, this can still be an ABC. It doesn't have to tick 100. You must know that. Because what we were thinking is that if this is going to be an ABC situation, if it's going to be an ABC, we think price should at least kiss where we expect 85 to be. Of course, 123 is going to be down here. So even if it's going to, if it pulls beyond 100 extension level, then it is not an ABC anymore. is going to now be a deeper correction. So the most it can be to still give us a possible AB correction is not to break here and make an 100 extension, which price didn't do. Price didn't make that 100 extension. And unfortunately, price had broken. And so we should still be thinking that it could be a 3-1 and a correction of a 3-2 before we come down. And if price goes much higher and does not break this until it breaks out of the trend to the downside, then that means we are still coming down. So we now take the whole of this as an A. This might just be a B and a C. So we'll still be watching this critical area. Will still remain a critical level to break to the downside for us to know that we are now shorting. So, and we are going, so these are areas of decision at any point in time. These to the upside, these to the downside. It's a big gap on the lower time frame, but on the smaller time frame, it is not. So if we are looking at the expanse of that, it's about 332 pips that can happen. So we are going to tread carefully around this area to know what is happening. But on the RSI, it looks really up to break to the upside. So, but do they want to now do a deeper correction? That is the only thing it can be when they break this to the downside. So on the 1 hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that the movement so far, it has broken the structure here. What this one can do so far is to do 3 things. The first 3 things, the first of that 3 things is to see that this one is 1 or A, and we can see an A, B, C to go up to finish the last leg. If that happens, and this one is going to be a B, and this is a 1, so this can be a 2. So we are going to see how this is going to be A, B, C of the B to finish the last leg C, and for us to look for a sell at this area. And that way it might be like a 2 of a 3-1 and a 3-2 for more downside to occur. That's the first possibility. The second possibility is for these to be, like I said, is A and a B, ABC of a B and a C. The second possibility is for it to be a 1 and a 2, which is a much deeper correction, a 1 and a 2, which is a much deeper correction, and it's going to give us the third wave to the upside. And in that case, if it goes much deeper to give us a 2, and it's going to pull up, once it breaks beyond 161, 1, 2, 3 extension to the upside, and once it's 1.8, it's clearly telling us that it's a continuation. And even if it does not touch this area before it does break that 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, once it's 1.8 extension, it will signal that the movement is going up again to break the top, and we are continuing. So that will be the second one. So it's either it's A, B, C, or a 1, 2, and it's going to be a 3. So we're going to look for all those signs. Then the last possibility is for the price, as it's going up, to come down one more time, kiss the bottom or break the bottom. If it pulls down this way and continues to pull down to kiss the bottom and break the top, it's going to bounce up voraciously and continue to go up. That's the top possibility. So it's either we have it correct this as an ABC to the upside and come down, or it corrects this as a 1, 2, 3 and go up, or it comes down to break the bottom again without doing a correction that we expect. If it comes down and break the bottom again, it's going to go up. So 2 odds are looking towards 2 possibility or 2 options are looking towards breaking up, and it's only ABC correction, at this level that can make the price come down. So we're going to watch. Let's see how this one is going to correct. This is critical. The movement here is critical to know if it's going to be an ABC or a 1, 2, 3. And that is all I want to say for now. So we are going to be updating on this. So, bye.